Tuned in, the signal's clear. Coming through Geocache Talk. A voice on the line I hear. Coming through Geocache Talk.
Embark on a breathtaking 12-night journey with the Worldwide Cache Cruise and get ready to experience the best of Northern Europe in unparalleled style and comfort. Your adventure begins in Amsterdam, a city of picturesque canals and rich history. Explore its vibrant streets, visit world-renowned museums, and indulge in the local cuisine. Aboard our luxurious cruise ship, every detail is crafted for your comfort and enjoyment. From gourmet dining and yes, John, there's pizza, so don't fret. Enjoy soothing spa treatments. Your days at sea promise relaxation and fun. In Oslo, let the Vigeland Sculpture Park captivate your imagination. Or explore the historic Viking Ship Museum. We also sail to Skagen, Denmark, the northernmost town on the Skagen-Odde Peninsula. Next, it's Stockholm, the Venice of the North, with its stunning archipelago and historic old town. But that's not all. This stop is extra special. We're on a mission to find the legendary fourth loop of the Jasmer Challenge, GC4D, the match stash. This is the oldest active geocache in Sweden and the second oldest in Europe. It's still maintained by its original owner. Then, it's on to Tallinn, a hidden gem with medieval streets and timeless charm. In Helsinki, discover a blend of Eastern and Western influences. Visit the bustling market square and the serene Suomenlinna Sea Fortress. Copenhagen awaits with its iconic Little Mermaid statue and colorful Nyhavn district. Back on board, swap stories with fellow geocachers. Enjoy Broadway-style shows, engaging activities, and dazzling nightlife. As the sun sets on our Scandinavian adventure, breathe in the crisp sea air and cherish the memories. With the Worldwide Cache Cruise, we're not just taking a vacation. We're geocaching and collecting experiences that will last a lifetime. Contact us at geocachetalk@gmail.com.
Hey, Geocache Talk Network fans. If you love what we do and want to support the shows, we've got two great ways to help keep the adventure going. You can join us on Patreon at patreon.com/geocachetalk for exclusive perks. Or if you prefer a one-time boost, buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/geocachetalknetwork. Every bit of support helps us bring you more geocaching fun, stories, or shows. So whether it's a membership or a coffee, we appreciate you being part of making the Geocache Talk Network operate. Thanks, and happy caching.
Have you subscribed to FTF Magazine yet? FTF Magazine is the #1 geocaching magazine available. It is a quarterly magazine that you can be part of. Submit your geocaching milestones and adventures to be published. FTF Magazine is also interactive with puzzles to solve and a hunt to find Spartacus. If you can solve the puzzle or find Spartacus, then you will be entered in to win a special pack tag. Every new subscription, you will receive a special swag pack. Subscribing is easy. Just visit FTF's website, ftfgeo.com. Don't miss out and subscribe today.
Logwork, the creators of the fantastic logbook, made with genuine write-in-the-rain paper. The logbook's designed for the micro-containers of the present and future, geared towards the hider who'd rather go caching than doing cache maintenance. Find them at logwork.com. That's logwerk.com.
Calling all geocachers. At artedcrafted.com, we create unique apparel designed by geocachers for geocachers. From custom t-shirts to personalized mugs, our gear lets you express your passion. Stand out at your next event with artedcrafted.com. artedcrafted.com. Gear up for your next geocaching adventure.
All right. We're going to get started. We're going to get started now with me scrolling down. Hey, big thanks to our new patrons. Data Wrangler, Old Bowler, Lost Kin, Whidbey Island Gal, and Caching Karma. And Soccer Kicks is back with us. So thank you to all our patrons for keeping the shows on the air, because we've got multiple shows. So thank you, patrons, so much for keeping the whole network going. So, all right, let's bring on our guest. There's Brent, KBK Wick and our co-hosts.
Hello, everybody.
Howdy, howdy.
Jesse, John.
I'm backwards, so I keep pointing the wrong way.
I know.
Oh man,
This looks right, but it's this way.
I thought you were just doing some scary disco moves.
That's what it was.
Right. Not very good disco moves. All right. So before that, though, let's do this.
Oh, it looked like I froze up for a second, didn't it?
Oh
Like
man!
that. And then
I got some news, guys.
Uh-oh.
Go for it.
I got some news. Okay, on this one.
Okay.
Did you know Cache Odyssey currently has over 1,234 favorite points earned? Did you know that?
Holy moly!
That's a lot.
It's crazy, right?
Cool number too.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, I had a really cool experience yesterday. Rick Dorsey, 8080, came into town. He found Cache Odyssey New York, closed out the Northeast region, and then Rick and I went out for some bad pizza. My apologies, Rick, on that one. It was
Wait. Back up a minute.
Yeah.
You took him to a place that you knew was bad?
No, I did not know it was going to be that bad, Gary. I did not know.
So my next question is, how did you not know if this place was going to be bad? I assumed you have scanned and partaked in all pizza within like a 75-mile radius of you or more, 120-mile
That is true. That is true, Gary. That is absolutely true.
Okay.
Rick came in a little bit earlier the day, and when my top choices weren't available, and I asked Rick, I said, Rick, do you want pickle pizza or some other pizza? And he goes, some other pizza. So I said,
yeah,
okay.
exactly. That's the
said,
right
let's
answer.
go to another place, and we went there, and it was great catching up with him. But yeah, my apologies, Rick, on that pizza, man. That was not Pizza Ninja quality pizza like that I would put out there. But it was great seeing Rick, and the great news
Did
was
you
Rick
still eat it though? Was it so bad you couldn't eat it?
You could eat it. It's just like, for me, the make it or break it is when you got kind of that soggy crust without the crisp on the bottom.
Yeah.
You know? And it was soggy. It was soggy on that one.
All right.
Yeah. So definitely not the best pizza on that one. So, but
K Blast says he's trying to hard to reconcile the words bad and pizza.
No, there's bad pizza. There's definitely bad pizza.
Yeah, or not as good pizza. Not as good pizza, but it's not the top pizza game I'd like people to experience, you know?
Yeah.
Got to be honest on that one.
I'm spoiled because we make homemade pizza. So you can't, it's kind of hard to beat homemade pizza.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't wait until I knock on your door for the surprise pizza inspection. I'm like, hey, Kristen Christie's pizza inspector.
I haven't shot anybody in a while. Come on. Surprise me.
Well, if that isn't a welcome invitation, I don't know what is, right?
That's right. Come on down.
Small for the flash.
Yeah. Just sneak in the back window. That'll go great.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. Exactly. I made a bunch of pizzas that I made 3 different ones the last week, which I normally don't eat pizza because I made all carnivore pizza. So that was interesting. No flour.
A lot of bread?
No bread. I mean,
That's not a pizza.
I can't eat bread, but Susan can't, but she enjoyed it, but I made 3 different.
I didn't want to talk about pizza tonight, but what is a carnivore pizza if there's no bread? Is that just like a bag of like meat and cheese, or what do you got?
Beef jerky.
There's 3 different ones. Without getting too far into this, you can use shredded chicken, and you basically make it as a base, and it does taste pizza crust like. It really does. So
pizza crust.
That's one of them.
So it's
There's
meat,
cloud bread,
cheese, right? Carnivores aren't eating cheese, right? Cavemen weren't making cheese, so.
Well, no, but it's an animal product. So
it sounds like you just had a shredded chicken breast.
Yeah.
I don't know that you can call that a pizza, man. I mean, that's pretty.
Yeah,
I got recipe.
I don't
Whoever
know.
wants the recipe, I can send you a recipe. I got 3 different ones, and they all turned out.
Tell you what, I'll save you some time. Don't send me the recipe. I'm not eating
Okay,
that.
I'm going to send them
Let's move on to
directly you.
geocaching. This is a geocaching podcast, not a
Well,
pizza
guys,
podcast.
and welcome to Pizza Talk on the Geocache Talk Network. Tonight we're talking about pizza
No.
and scary pizza.
No,
With us is Brent, Mr. KBK Wick. And I have to tell you guys, like, I logged into the show, right? And check out this, like, background, like, behind me. There's, like, these scary people looking like they're stealing a pizza. So I don't know what happened there, but it just kind of is freaking me out.
Yeah, you combine pizza with Infernal device, and that's what you got in the background there.
Yeah, you know, Gary, you're onto something. Ever since I ate the pizza in Infernal device that was there, weird stuff like this has been happening. Just saying.
They're coming for you. All right. Do you want to mention about what do you want to mention next? March Equinox, or do you want to mention about?
So in some other non-pizza related news, last call for the March Equinox souvenir. I got mine today. Don't know about you guys, but if you didn't get your March Equinox souvenir, you can find one geocache, one event cache, or one Adventure Lab location and get it. So if you haven't done it yet, do it tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just need to claim something and then delete my log, and I'll have the souvenir. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Good enough. It'll work.
No. Oh, you said don't do that. Don't do that. That's right. Okay. My fault.
No. Don't
I was
do
going
that.
to say, you must not have cash police in your area.
That's right. Nobody would know. I'll just claim something out of some other country and then just delete it real quick. Oops, wrong
There
log.
you go.
Delete it. And you'll get the souvenir and you get to keep it forever. What? What, that doesn't work? Okay. Never mind. Don't do that.
Oh, good grief. All right. Quick note on the next item that I'm struggling to find on my list here, and I am now searching for it, and I have
Compelling show.
found it? Question mark.
Suspense is killing us, Gary. Suspense is
I'm
killing us.
Struggling tonight. Here we go.
Geocachers, it's time to celebrate your achievement. Introducing the brand new Jasmer Challenge Geocoins, designed to honor your dedication to one of the toughest geocaching challenges out there. Each coin represents a completed loop of the Jasmer Challenge, marking your journey through the history of geocaching. Whether you've conquered Loop 1, Loop 2, or gone all the way to Loop 3, there's a coin for you. These stunning geocoins were designed by renowned coin artist Christian Mackey, known for his incredible craftsmanship and attention to detail. And at just $25 each, they're a must-have for any serious cacher. Don't wait. Grab yours today in the Geocache Talk shop and show the world that you've mastered the Jasmer Challenge.
All right. 2 things. One is, don't ask me about the 4th loop. Don't talk to me about it. Don't ask about it. Oh, wait. Yes, we can talk about it. But yes, we will make a coin for the 4th loop. Just please stand by, because we will have a 4th loop. We'll make
not that many people have gotten it, right? So let's be honest about it.
Well, there'll be 60 people, hopefully, finding it soon.
Now, 60 people eligible. They're not necessarily going to get. That's not going to necessarily finish it, right? So even if all 60 people go get that, it's going to make it a lot easier, though. So
it will. Yeah, definitely. But anyway, so the coins are back. They're limited supply, but actually we have quite a few Loop 1s. The Loop 2 and Loop 3s are very limited. In fact, I've got 3 Loop 3s right now. We'll get more, but for now, Loop 3s. And I've got all the orders sitting right over here that are going out because there was a manufacturing error. It's been fixed. The coins came in. I've boxed or put them all together to ship, and so all the orders are going out tomorrow. Taking them all to the post office, and they're all going out. One's actually going to Australia, so thank you, Australia, for buying. I mean, they really had to wait because now I got to put in the mail. But anyway, fixed. Sorry for the problem, but the coins will be on the way tomorrow. So there you go. And then as far as a real quick update on the Worldwide Cache Cruise, we are at about 60 plus people. right now that have actually bought. I mean, not just said I'd like to go. These are 60 people who actually like put a deposit.
Yeah,
they put their money down on for that. So
my guess is about 75.
you
That's
think
gonna be my
total?
guess. Yeah, I think that's
That'll
gonna be
our final
about
total.
75. Maybe a tiny bit more, but that's my guess right now.
Sure.
Because I mean, it's not like we have until a year and a half to book it. It's gonna fill. The boat's gonna fill up. So I don't think that not more than that. I think some people will be like, I want to go, but it's gonna be too late, right? So I think
what you're
75 is about how many people. Well,
people-
76 because there's 2 per cabin, right? So
Yeah, but people need to move quick on this one because if not, the ship's going to book up. And I mean, number one, we know it's going to be an awesome time. Number two, I mean, it's going to be like epic, especially getting the match stash on that one with an awesome group of people. Yes. And I mean, how can you say it's not going to be a blast with all those awesome cachers? You know, just looking through that list, it's just like, man, so many fun people.
It's an incredible trip. We've got think of all the places that we get to go, and we mentioned at the top of the hour with the video, but the ocean view rooms are gone, so it's
they are, but
you might ask for one, yeah,
without getting into a total separate thing, because we could do a whole show on this, and we're not going to. And like Bell in the Mood just asked, what are the costs? So we have to tell people like Facebook group or email us. And if you're not on Facebook, email us. We'll get you on the email list. Because we've got tons of information, more than we could go over with when we have a guest on. But like the costs are there, the destinations are there, all that information is already out there. It's all on the Facebook. It's in that group. But do it quickly because things are selling out. And we have somebody we're working with, but they can only do so much, right? They can only grab so many things for us. The things will sell out, sort of, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so
the ocean views, like you said, exactly, Jesse. The ocean views show publicly that they're sold out, which means that there can't be many left.
No, but you don't want to be the last person. If you've ever cruised before, or go look online and find you a cruise that's about to leave or that is sold out, almost all of them, they do like any other good store. Guess what? The price goes up. So because there's only like 3 left, it's going to be the most expensive room and stuff. So get on there quick. It's going to be awesome. We're going to talk about it a bunch and time comes up, but I've already been trying to figure out ways I can tack a few extra countries onto it and everything else too. So
exactly.
We'll talk about strategy a bunch.
That'll come up. But the reason we're talking about it so early is just we got to get. It's sort of like there'll be a low point in here, but we got to get you want to get your room if you want to get there. So
get in there. John, if you're going to go with us, book it now.
Yep.
John, Mark, this is not like a high pressure tactics. We're not trying to trick you. Really book it, or you won't get to go. So
you're exactly right.
It's not a hard sell.
Because there's other groups that are also doing that. So go ahead, John.
Yeah, March Madness, we're just going to mention this really quick on this one. Last year, we did like a March Madness style brackets. We're doing it again this year. Last year, it was cash type. This year, it's events, right? Because we have so many awesome events going on this year. So we're going to have like one like big, massive bracket for block parties because there's so many of those. And then essentially the other ones are going to be gig event, mega events, and special category, right? So we're going to work through that block party one, and then the block party winner is going to face the mega event category winner. Nice. And then special category is going to face off against giga event because we got a giga. So it's kind of like one of those things. A gig is just so huge in the first place that those are really going to be the 4 final matchups on that one. And then we're going to then have everybody vote to select a winner. But the question on this one is what event excites you the most?
Yes.
This year. So when you're voting, just think about what excites you the most, onto that one. And this year,
you include block parties because there's only a few megas this year.
Yeah. Okay. There's only 4, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So,
which last point, then we're getting in the show, which is a quick trivia question for everybody. You know what the oldest mega in the U.S. is now?
Now, hold on. You got to define this clearly. Not the oldest mega. Are you saying the oldest non-stop mega?
Non-stop mega. The oldest non-stop.
Continuous mega?
Continuously running mega.
Are you just trying to start trash, or is this an actual trivia question? Because it sounds like you may be trying to poke at somebody.
Are you saying the longest running mega that's never been a block party, Gary?
I was interested. Jim, that was a block party, but good guess. Thank you, Yuma. No, and I'll keep people from, because you're not going to guess it. So
it's not Geo Woodstock, because that became a giga.
It's a giga, right?
Texas Challenge was the oldest one, but aren't they doing block party this year?
It was the oldest, and they just had a block party, so they have
they're not
their.
If you're being technical, a block party is still a mega, but if you're being technical about it, okay. I don't know who is the oldest one. Is it like? Give us a hint.
You've been to one of them in Colorado.
Oh, CoinFest.
CoinFest. Yes.
Yeah.
Is that insane or what?
That's crazy.
I wouldn't have thought that would have been one of the oldest continuous only mega non-giga non-block party.
Yeah. Continuous event. Is not really. Continuous is like 20.
Did they not stop at all? No, they stopped during.
They stopped. Well, everything stopped except for Texas Challenge.
So really, it really only counts since COVID because Texas Challenge, the Texas Challenge went through COVID, but they changed the block party.
Yeah. Right.
So really, the oldest one is there's no oldest one right now. It's whatever started after COVID.
That was the first one to start after COVID. Was CoinFest. So it's kind
of gosh.
It sounds like the CoinFest and CacheFest are probably tied.
They're close, but they're not. It's not.
Is CoinFest going to continue to be a mega this year?
2022. Yeah, it's going to be a mega. They'll keep it going. They're not going to do it. They're not doing a block party. I mean, they could, but
CacheFest still beats it because it's in Hawaii. So we won.
Yeah.
Well,
I hear you.
It was a year after CoinFest. It was after that. So
anyway. I don't care. What's the only mega to ever be in Hawaii?
It was a weird technical.
I'm saying there's points right there.
Yeah. That's big bragging rights right there for sure.
What about Oklahoma City? What's the only one to ever be in Oklahoma?
There's only been one. CacheFest, Oklahoma.
In the mega, just saying, like closest to one of the best caches ever made in Oklahoma.
Which brings us to the show.
Oh my gosh!
And to Brand,
amazing how we got back around there, isn't it?
Thank you, Brand, for sticking with us on this crazy night.
It's been fun so far.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed that. So
he's regretting it already.
Let's do the Wayback Machine, and let's go way back to the very beginning when this idea came about. How did the idea of starting? We're going to talk about some of the evolution of this whole thing, but how did Infernal Device get birthed?
Okay, so a couple of friends and myself were geocaching, and man, we were hitting it hard. We were hitting the FTFs. I mean, we were going after everything, and we just kept on and on and on, and time was going by, and we were just running here and there and there, and we were doing a lot of caches like in the city and stuff, and we were just like, man, we kind of got to a point where we wanted something new, like we just run out our options on caches, and then we were like, man, we want something more. We want more than what we're getting right now. So
right,
the guys I was caching with, they were like, man, we need something different. And so I was like, we were actually on the way to a cache when all this conversation come up, and I said, y'all need another cache? I said, I'll put out a cache for you. I said, I'll put out a large cache for you guys, just for y'all, you know. And they were like, oh yeah, cool. And one of them said, I got a 5-gallon bucket you can use. I said, oh man, that's perfect. That's awesome. And then the other guy said, I got a 55-gallon barrel I'll give you. See what you can make out of that. And I said, cool, let's go, man. I'm ready.
Let's do it.
That was how that part started. And then I mentioned it to my mom. I said, man, we really need to try to build something and make a cool cache for everybody, and told her the same story. And she just kind of looked at me and she said, what about using the shed in the backyard? And I'm like, well, that's a good idea. Let's go take a look at it. So
interesting.
we walked back there and we looked at the shed and we were like, this is it. We got to build something here. So that's where it started from right there.
Oh my gosh,
had no plans, didn't even know the name, just knew we were going to build something in this shed and make it huge and make it enjoyable for everybody. So
had you seen
incredible
anything like
so
this?
we are talking tonight.
Oh, okay. I think we got a delay. Sorry. I just talked over you. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Had you seen anything like that beforehand that inspired you to think that you could make a whole shed into one?
I have not. I mean, like I said, we were just, hadn't been caching very long and just been in Oklahoma and haven't seen anything, close to that. I just knew we needed something more. And when my mom said, hey, how about the shed? I said, let's go check it out. And the way that shed was laid out and everything was set, I mean, it was just perfect for what we done with it. And yeah, it's
incredible
history from there.
So yeah, I'm wondering too, like on the theme, like how did you decide like on the theme of the cache?
Hang on, Infernal device.
We must be off sync because we keep talking over
Hang on,
each other.
before we go any further.
Yeah.
We're talking about Infernal device.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're got some delays working here. But if you want to follow along, I put the note or put the GC in the chat. The GC is GC6XJQA, in case you want to follow along at home and take a look at it before as we go along. So go ahead, John. What was your question again?
Yeah. So I mean, Brent, I mean, that's so cool to hear. Like that's how you got the space. I'm just wondering, like, how did you get to the theme of the cache and how you were designing it? Like, how did that idea come into fruition?
So I'm not sure. Did you make it to the first one or not?
No, I've heard a lot of great stories about the first one, but yeah, I made it to the second one.
So one of the ways we come up with it was because just of the shed itself was just kind of eerie going in it. I mean, it was like falling down. So what happened was there was an old shed out there that you could go in, and the floor was jacked up and the wood, I mean, the walls were falling. And so they built a big shed over it. So it had like a little one inside and then had a big one built around it. So, I mean, it was just kind of spooky enough walking in this thing. And it had the hallway that went down along the fence and around the west side of it, and it just, the other thing is my mom loves scary movies. We wanted to make it scary. So the theme of it had a lot to do with the movie Saw, that whole series. So that came into play with it also. And it was just, I mean, nothing was planned. We just walked out there and said, what can we do with this part? Well, let's make them come in here. Let's do this. And then they come in here. What are we going to do here? I don't know. We'll figure out something. Let's move this stuff out of the way so we can walk through here. So it was just, the ideas just came as we just looked and, went along with it.
So how long did it take from the moment that you sort of walked in there and said, let's do it, to publishing?
So it took us about 7 months to do it. And man, we kept this thing a total secret. I mean, it was me, my mom, and my wife, Kim. I mean, we were the only three that knew anything about this. Wow. And this is so funny because the two guys that I was caching with, and we come up, with this big cache and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Along the build or during the build, they actually came out to the house and they came out to the shop, and I was building the actual chair, and I had this thing all it was in pieces and here and here. So I threw blankets and stuff over it and covered it up. And one of them actually said, "What is this? A basketball goal?" Y'all kind of, what it looks like, but
yeah.
And then we had another like a small like event, not really an event. It wasn't a posted event, but we had a meetup out here with some guys, some caching people here. And they went out to the shop and I covered stuff up, and they had no idea any of this stuff was being built in my shop there. So it was a big secret. And then another funny thing, one of the guys that was in that first conversation, he got to where he was going around and putting a geocache in front of, he'd find out where people live and he'd go put a geocache as close to their front yard as he could.
Right.
And so I knew this was coming. And I told Mom, I said, we got to put a geocache in your front yard to keep him from putting that there, because we knew this other one, the Infernal device, was going to go live later, and we didn't want that blocking it.
Exactly.
So we ran out there and put, I don't know if you guys remember the hornet's nest that I made.
Yes. Yeah.
So we put that in her front yard to block him from setting anything there.
That's awesome. Yeah, incredible. So another note tonight is that we're only gonna do we'll do a few spoilers. So the thing that I really like about the second one is that when you go down.
Oh man, sorry guys, I had to kick Carrie out on that one.
We can't have that.
Yeah, I mean, we all love Gary, but I mean, we all know spilling the beans is something Gary likes to do, and then the spoilers as well. But tell you, okay,
that's the part I really loved. So, did y'all hear that?
That was great, Gary. That was
we got it. It was great.
Yeah.
Oh,
amazing.
Okay. All right. Back to the thing. So, so once you had it ready to publish, what was it? What was it like to go? Put it in and then here it's published. You're like, all right, well, it's published. Did you go like announce it to people, or did you just sort of wait, see what happened? Or
no,
the first people to show up.
We kept this thing a secret until the minute we pushed that button to publish it. I mean, there was nothing said about anything.
Oh, wow.
And so our anticipation for this was just, I mean, it was incredible. We were so ready, and just on standby and just ready to go. And Mom was super excited about it. And so we hit publish on that thing, and it was the next morning when somebody showed up. They didn't go that. I think it posted on a Friday night, but it was Saturday morning when the first geocacher showed up.
They're like, what do we do?
Yeah, and it was real funny because the two guys that were involved in this whole thing, they were like, they were hanging out, and they were like, dude, look at this cache just posted. And one wanted to go, and the other one was like, man, it's too late. I don't want to go out there because I wanted to post it. I posted it at dark. We wanted to make sure it was dark, so if they came out that night, it was going to be total darkness out there. So,
right.
Now,
an FTF.
Did you have to explain it to your reviewer ahead of time, or did you just publish it and he didn't know?
Owen's question. What was reviewer's reaction?
Yeah.
So I don't remember much about that. I don't remember too much about anything on that part of it. It was just like, hey, there's a cache. It's in my mom's shed in the backyard, blah, 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 whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't remember too much about that.
Jim, congrats to Jim back home now. Says, where were you hiding nearby to watch people show up?
Okay, so for the people that don't know, in the original Infernal device, we had cameras inside set up, and those cameras were hooked to my mom's monitor in her house, and that was part of that goes back to the original thing of this too, was for her to enjoy this because she was getting older and she couldn't just jump up and run out and go grab all these caches. So she wanted to be able to enjoy caching, and so we had camera systems set up in there where she could watch and and see people come in or whatever. So yeah, she was on standby waiting for that. We had a motion sensor in the door. As soon as you come in the door, the motion sensor would go off and she would know somebody's there.
Oh, cool.
So
did you have anything in place like you do now where if somebody gets to a point where they're like, we need a hint, they can like send you a message in geocaching.com and you can sort of give them direction? Did you have any of that before, or was it just sort of like you're on your own? If you can find it, you can find it.
So the original one,
Yeah, the original one.
We had this thing. I mean, it looked so. I mean, it looked like you were really going somewhere that you did not belong. I mean, we didn't have any of the Halloween decoration stuff and the little stuff. This thing was, I mean, it was serious. It was no playing around. It was like, I don't think I belong here, but I got permission to be here. So it was, I mean, it was really, I wanted to keep that feeling of, man, I don't really know if I need to be here or not. And that was part of the actual recording too, about being here. You might want to turn around and leave now.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I love that.
Yeah, it was for that first to find. It was, man, you're on your own. This is it. You go for it. It's yours. Yeah.
Incredible. Yeah. So the chain, and obviously we're no spoilers tonight, but the 1.0. Oh, what's funny is the weirdest thing you saw on the cameras? Oh yeah, because was there anything weird?
I'm glad you asked. So, it'd been open not very long, and we had a couple of ladies come in, and a very active geocaching duo in the Oklahoma City area. And so they come in, and anytime anybody come in, my mom would either text me or call me, "Hey, somebody's in. I can't wait. Let's see how long it takes them." So they come in. I mean, they're doing the standard stuff, going through everything normal, and they're having fun, and they're like, "Oh, wait a minute, this and that," and so they get all the way in, and they finally make it to the actual chair. And by this time, it was in the summer, and it's just a tin shed, so it was really hot in there. And they kept saying, "Man, it's hot. It's really getting hot here." And we've been in here a minute, and they were like, "What do we do to get a hint?" And they said, "I don't know," and this was all on video. My mom's just watching this, and she's just like checking this out and everything. And the next thing you know, they start singing, and this is what they start singing right here. Oh, hang on, it didn't work.
That's fine.
So, yeah, I gotta play it. Man, this did not go like it planned. But there we go. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Nelly.
So they start singing this song, and they start doing that exactly. They start, her dancing and carrying on. Yeah, it got hot in there. It got pretty hot in there. My mom.
That's funny.
Oh man,
that is crazy.
So she
awesome.
knew them, and after this was all over and everything, she goes out there and she takes them. "Man, you guys are so hot in here. I brought you some pink lemonade." And they're like, "Oh, awesome! You're so sweet." Blah blah blah. Take a drink of that, and they're like, "Is this Spike?" And my mom said, "Well, yeah."
Of course it is.
And they were like, "Oh, okay." So yeah, that was the funny story.
So, without again the spoilers, but when it was out there and you completed it, the 1.0 version, were you thinking ahead that you would like, okay, this is, or that it was even a 1.0 version? The fact that, did you think about, one day I want to redo this a little bit and trick it up and change it? Did you ever think you would do that, or from the start did you decide, okay, I know from the start you're like, okay, this is version 1, I'm going to do multiple versions of this, or not?
No, that first one was set in stone. I mean, I wanted it to be creepy. I wanted to feel like you were in the wrong place.
Sure.
And there was no goofy stuff going on. It was straight to the point, just creepy. And my mom kept wanting to put like Halloween decorations in there and do this and do that. And I said, no, I don't want to do that because it takes away from it just feeling so out of place and odd. But we eventually started putting Halloween stuff in there, so it turned out pretty good. People actually liked it, and so we just kind of added little small stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. So one of the things that was in the first version also was, I'll let you describe it, but it was like a second logbook. Was that kind of a?
Yes, it was called the Ultimate. So we had a couple of different things going on. You could go in there, and then I had a signature board on the wall, and I wanted people to say, "Hey, look, I'm KB Wig. I'm from Choctaw, Oklahoma, and I drove 2 miles to get here. You know, whatever."
Yeah, put it on the board like a little eraser board.
Signature board. And then the cache actually held the ammo can with the logbook in it. So that was the actual
standard
Infernal device was that piece.
Sure.
And then beyond that, once you opened up that the ammo can,
don't give too much.
I had in the logbook on the very first page in there, it said I can't remember the exact words of it, but we had it written in there that now that you've logged the geocache, if you want an ultimate experience, search for the bonus, something to that effect.
Sure.
And so that meant there's something else in here. Where it is, who knows? You know, if you want to go for it, you can. But if not, you've already found the cache, you logged it. You're more than welcome to head out and go on.
Bill on the move, looking for hints or I don't know, beans to spill. Yes, you don't.
That's not beans to spill. I mean, you can generically talk about it without giving anything away.
Yeah, and he's just asking for gameplay.
Yeah,
gameplay. Well, and that's really a good question for the 1.0. The 2.0 does, but the 1.0, did it have sort of the same kind of thing where you got to solve things to get to the next level? Because that's kind of way, with 2.0, you got to, if you don't solve the puzzles as you go, you're not going to get there. So,
yeah, it was kind of the same way. You just had to, it's like we like to call it like a reverse escape room, instead of trying to get out of this thing, you're trying to figure out how to get into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it kind of has that feel to it. And the first one, I had some different things in the first one that you could get some clues from. It was pretty neat, but this one is, it's just a little different. We didn't have the room to do everything from the first one to here, but it worked out good.
Yeah. So you made you moved to your new home, and then what was the decision that you made to move to disable the cache and to move the whole thing to a 2.0 to your location?
So we already lived here actually, and so when my mom passed, we knew we had to move it out of there, or disable it or whatever.
Sure.
So it was, do we want to keep it and keep our favorite points and try to go with it? Are we even allowed to do that, or do we just, archive it and go on and build a new one and and go from there? So the question was, ultimately all we could do is ask, right? So I asked the reviewer. He's either going to tell me yes or no, and then we go from there. And so I asked the reviewer, said, "Hey, look, this is what's happened. This is what we're wanting to do. What can we do?" And so I got my answer, and we kept it going. We were able to save all the favorite points and keep it going.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now,
in the new location.
Yeah, I was trying to remember. You would know. So, how long? I remember when it got disabled, and there was a lot of buzz around here, and probably in Oklahoma too. That when it was disabled, there was a lot of discussion about oh no, I wanted to go do that one and it's gone. And I would tell people, I was like, I don't think it's gone. I mean, if it was gone, I think it'd be archived. He says disabled. I think you left a note too that said that what you were gonna do. So how do you remember the length of time that you had to disable the cache? Seemed like it was at least 6 months, maybe not.
We kept it going as long as we could.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure.
Before you could get the new one. Yeah, the 2.0.
Yeah, we just disabled it, and then I got with the reviewer and checked with them and got my answer from that, and we're just like, let's just keep it like this until we get the new one up and going. And it stayed disabled. It never did go archive.
Right. Yeah, it was disabled. So when you decided to put it in its new location, was that building? Did you already have a building? Or did you build the building for Infernal Device, or did you do the same thing you did at your mom's, which was to convert something that was already there?
No, we started out. There was nothing there. There was a few trees there. Yeah, it was bare ground with some trees growing around it. So
that is awesome.
We built it from ground up.
Wow, from ground up, that is incredible.
I cut some trees that was right in the middle of it, but I left a lot of the trees. You've seen what it looks like, but I left a lot of trees where it would scrape and rub on the metal to give you that sound and all that effect on the inside.
The building of it, without, again, no spoilers, but you built it old. I mean, you built. It's hard to explain, but it's like it feels like. Well, John, I've been in and out.
Yeah,
a couple times. I think it's been there for like 50 years.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you pull up and you look, and you're just kind of like, okay, where's the cache? And you see that, and you're like, oh, that looks a little scary right there.
Mm-hmm.
And
so the way that happened was we were able to. So when COVID hit, and that set us back for a while. When COVID hit, materials just skyrocketed. Y'all remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, I can't afford to build this thing with the way these materials are. So then we're like, well, why can't we repurpose? So we started, trying to find an old barn to get the metal from, and we ended up finding an old barn from my wife's aunt, which lives really close. Cool. And so we got repurposed all the tin off of there. The poles that are in it were from a friend of ours that used to rodeo a long time ago, got it out of his arena. And some of the decking in there where the actual chair is, it came from another geocacher's swimming pool. They had tore the swimming pool down, and all that decking was just laying out there.
Oh, wow.
And another geocacher gave us it wasn't his, but he's like, hey, there's like all kinds of lumber. They just tore out. I think it was a deck and part of another swimming pool. And it's all just laying there on the curb if you want to come get some. Nice. So, man, we rushed over there with the trailer and got everything out of there that we thought we could use. And and I took a lot of stuff also out of the original Infernal Device and brought out and had it stacked up out here. So we were able to use a bunch of that left over.
The infamous chair.
And Marty and Laurie with Boomer Buckeyes, I think y'all remember them.
Yeah.
Man, they really helped us out a whole lot on this thing. There was a time when I was like, I don't even know if I'm really going to put this back together or not. And they would nudge us, say, hey, look, man, you really got to put that thing back together.
Got to do it.
So I got to give it up to them. They helped me get back into it and get my mind right with it and get back out.
There's the ones that did the board behind you too, right?
Yes, they did this board. They sure did. They did an awesome job on this. I wish we could focus in and see all the work.
Spoilers probably, but kind of
discuss spoilers in there too. But
kind of discuss the board a little bit.
Yeah.
But what all did they put on there?
Yeah. So this is my mom right here. She was Hunt Gator.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice. So that's the kind of the beginning of it right there. And earlier you asked about the theme of how we come across that and how we kind of came up with it. Well, this picture right here, it's on the description page of the cache itself.
Okay.
That picture right there, was burned into my mind. That's all I could see every day when I'm building this thing. And that first one, I actually made the entrance to that look identical to this right here.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it was, that picture had a lot to do with it right there. And then a friend of ours, he's a geocacher. He's the sixth Hobbit. He painted this. He actually painted that. That's the picture that's sitting in the door over here that you see when you open it up. I don't know if you can see this one, but this is the big Halloween event that we had. And we actually turned that thing into a haunted house and had people go through 2 or 3 at a time. And we set up inside and scared people through and all that.
That's so awesome. Yeah, it definitely lends itself.
These pictures right here are of the actual build. I don't know if you can really see them very good, but that's
really cool.
Here's what it looked like right here before we started on it.
Yeah.
That's the groundwork.
Right. All the basic work for it. So incredible. Yeah. Jamie says I was there last April and tornadoes were moving in. The trees were scraping on the shed, made it so creepy.
That's funny.
So that is so great.
That made it worth all the effort right there, seeing that post right there, because man, it was so hard building that thing amongst those trees,
right next
and trying to put that roof tin on. Man, we really fought that, but that makes it all worthwhile right there.
Yep. Your wife's helping out. She's in the chat room helping. So she's relieving the trees. It's very true. Yeah. So, I got to do, I went back and looked, it's been 2 years now, but our little Motley caching crew, we try to take a trip every year for, over a weekend. And one of the trips that was on the list and came about is when I mentioned to the guys was we need to go to Infernal Device. Yes, we've got to go. So we went, and our experience was incredible as far as like, it was kind of sprinkling and it was dark and it was thundering. It was like, you couldn't have had the most perfect, anything more perfect than that experience. And then
that's cool.
Yeah. And I sent you a note and it was like, we're going in. And so, we did everything. And then we walked back and we got in the car and we just sat there and there was just dead silence for seriously, it's like almost like a minute. And finally somebody said, "That's the most incredible thing I've ever done." It's like, yes, it was. And then I think I told you about Darren, one of the Master Cache crew. He was posting like crazy. I was like, "What are you doing?" I went out there and looked. He had posted all these pictures. Like, "You can't do that, man. Those are all spoilers." He's like, "No, I got so excited I couldn't stop." Like, go back and delete those. You can't do that. So he went back and deleted a whole bunch. I don't know what his final total was, but he must have taken 150, 200 photos of just everything he could see in that place. He was taking photos, and it was just, it is. Well, you guys did it. Fortunately, we all been able to do it, but there's so much you can't really. And what I enjoyed was I got to go back through it with those guys when when Cache Fest Oklahoma came about, and I got to see things that I didn't see the first time. I mean, it's incredible. We're talking about the 2.0 version, by the way. So I never, unfortunately, could do 1.0, but so there's a lot. So do you feel like that you put, whenever you get a thought, you're like, oh, let me go throw this in there. Is that kind of how it's sort of evolved now? Since it's, right there, right where you are, you can kind of go, oh, let's go. Let me go do this. And so you go in there, tweak this and tweak that. Is that kind of how it's come about, you think?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, there's stuff in here now that I mean, I could go out there and probably change it every day, but I know I shouldn't.
Right. No.
But I do have ideas for it. I think about it all the time. It's like, man, if I just did this right here on this one part, it might do something here, and vice versa or whatever. But there's a few changes in there since Cache Fest, but
oh wow, oh there is. Oh my gosh, you gotta go
it's
back.
just little things here and there. But yeah, if I could go back to where you were talking about the spoiler picks and stuff.
Sure.
In the beginning, I wanted to keep it such a secret. I was really hardcore about the spoiler picks and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then I got away from it. I'm good with whatever picks now, except for the very last one that showing the
gives
final.
away the final. Yeah.
But so there's a story before we had the event. There was a geocacher from Missouri. He came down for the event a day ahead of time, and he goes through this thing, and he's just, he's cruising. So let me say one more thing first.
Sure.
When this thing first opened up, people were going through it. It took them like hours. It took a very long time because there wasn't you couldn't phone a friend. There was nobody there to
there's nobody to call
or anything. So
sure.
And then the people that did go there and find it, they were like zip. They weren't saying nothing because they wanted people.
Not saying anything.
So it was hard. Well, here comes Joe from Missouri. Man, he goes through this thing, I think, in under 30 minutes. And I'm thinking, wow. So I went to him. I was like, dude, you flew through this thing. I said, you're the first person that's ever been through this thing, under an hour, and you did it under 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And I said, that's pretty impressive. He goes, oh, well, he said, I just watched that video before I came down here. And I'm like,
what video?
And he says, oh, the video of the two guys that went through it.
Oh, no.
So the story behind that is there's two guys, and they do a Christian comedy podcast thing, and they go around everywhere, and they just find whatever, and they do their thing. And one of their friends said, hey, look, you got to come over here and do this geocache. Well, they went through this thing from start to finish with cameras, and they're like, oh my God, look at this, and wow, look at this, and
they ruined it.
And so they had a full video all the way through, but I was able to get a hold of them. And I was like, look, man, that's kind of a spoiler video. It's not really the geocaching thing. And they apologize, and they're like, man, I'm so sorry. I understand, understand that aspect of the game. And they took it off. They were they weren't mad about it. But
sure, that's good.
So anyway.
What's funny too, or what's fun is the time during Cache Fest was I got to go through it and watch everybody else's reaction because I didn't because I'm not giving any spoiler, and so watching them struggle was joyous. It was fun watching them, and they're looking at me. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not saying anything. I really didn't. And they're like, come on, what's just a little hint. We don't need a big hint, just a little one. Nope, no hints.
So in the original, when we had the camera set up, it would drive my mom absolutely nuts. They're like, why can't they figure it out? It's right there. They got their hand on it. Why can't they figure it out?
Yes.
I was like, it's just part of it. You just gotta. They'll figure it out.
We almost sent you a note, but we did figure it out without any hints. But boy, we struggled, and so I enjoyed watching them struggle, and then especially with these clowns because we had a special situation in Infernal Device was that you could see the pizza in the geocache, but you couldn't get to it, and that was John was basically beside himself.
Well, I was like, guys, I'm like, if I'm gonna die in a geocache, it's probably gonna be like somebody puts a pizza there, and put like a trap for me in there,
and then
that's how it goes down for you.
Yeah, I'm like totally picturing like a mouse trap, but instead of the cheese on the end, a piece of pizza.
Yeah.
And you
full
know,
pizza
I
in
mean,
there.
yeah, and I mean the thing, and I'm not gonna spoil anything, but it's like it's basically like you're in a movie set that's set up for a horror movie
Yes.
that it's like you're totally immersed in it.
Oh
And I
yeah.
know just like everything Brent did, just from like a sensory perspective, when you're in there, you're kind of
Yes.
freaking out. You know it's a geocache, but the way that it's designed is just like so well done.
And it's creepy, right? Like, I mean,
Yes.
it's meant to be, but
Yeah.
yes, it's kind of like a reverse escape room, but I don't think that's really a good, fair description of it, because escape rooms, I love them. I've done, a bunch of them. They're generally kind of cheesy because they got to be open to the public and they got to look really friendly and stuff. You know what I mean? I don't mean cheesy bad way. Like, they're gonna be fun, but they're not meant to be actually scary. They're not like a horror house, a haunted house or whatever. They're supposed to be, all ages friendly and everything else. I don't know if kids have gone through this one, but my daughters wouldn't have gone through it. They'd have been too scared to go through it. I can tell you that for sure.
Sort of PG.
We've had some
13.
kids come out of there that they're like, no, they want to try it.
Yeah.
Because I guess their parents has got them excited about going in this cache and everything. And then when they make a few corners, they're like, no, they bail out. But yeah, that was the ideal. So the original one, just to let y'all know about that, it was so creepy because you actually had to park like 3 houses down, and you parked in a church parking lot.
Right.
And the way to get into it was down the alley. So you're between houses walking down the alley.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
And then there was a metal fence going through here, and it had no trespassing sign on it and all this stuff. And all you could see going up to it was a lock on the gate. And there was
oh wow.
It stuck out. I cut holes in the metal and went around the pole. So it just stuck out of the metal sitting there. And you had to undo that lock and go in right there.
Oh wow.
I mean, it was so creepy.
That is awesome.
The neighbor to the west of us down the hallway, their dog would always come and bark at the bottom of the fence when you'd walk along there. And so I got that dog comfortable. And I'll always keep treats in there. And when he would come up, I'd keep him treats under that fence and to keep him coming there.
Awesome.
And when you walked in that, man, I mean, he would bark and bark until you got into, the real part. And then he eased off at that point. But
that is so awesome.
It was a real spooky feeling going in over there.
That is incredible. Yeah, I mean, like I said, watching everybody, and then again, a special situation. Somebody, that K Blast did for John, but it made it even funnier because you can't get to it, but you could see that there's a pizza box in there, and you can't get to it, and so now it's even funnier. Crazy. I'm dying laughing because they're like, they're just rattling along, and it's like, looks like there's a pizza there. Like, shut up, we're trying to figure this thing out. It's like, okay, yeah, it's like, the old, look at my watch, like, oh, y'all done yet? What's going on here? Like, that it's not that easy, but it's
I mean, that was such an amazing time. I mean, seriously, it's just most amazing geocache I've ever done.
Well,
and I mean, just so awesome doing that, like with you guys, like Jesse, Gary, Chad Bounce, Derek. I mean, that was just a blast, absolute blast. Never forget.
Extremely unique experience.
Yes.
I haven't seen anything else like that, and I found a few caches, and not like some people, but I found a few caches, and I can't think of anything similar, right? Like anything to compare this one to.
Yeah,
category of its own for sure.
It really is, and it really worked out well. We weren't sure. Again, we had to kind of get some more extra extra permissions things. But when we were going to do Cache Fest Oklahoma, we talked to Brent and his wife, and we're like, hey, what if we set something up where we can get everybody through this thing? How much do you remember? Did you check before and after? Oh yeah, there's a good question. Has anyone found all the trackables? So there's
nope.
There's still trackables in there they haven't found.
So
incredible.
Okay, here's the story behind the trackables. In the original, we had that ultimate bonus find.
Yeah, which took some people hours.
Oh, they would spend hours out there looking for this, and in the heat, I mean, it was so hot out there. My mom would take like cold rags out there for people, and we kept cold rags. We had an ice box in there, and we kept those little freeze pops and cold water with towels stacked in there that they can get water, and just it was so hot. So I didn't want people spending that kind of time in this one again. So we come up with the idea of putting these trackables in there, and they're stationary trackables, and you find one, you log it, locate it, whatever.
Yep.
And so there is one in there that nobody's found yet, and I haven't put a count. Everybody wants to know, well, how many is there? Well, if I told you that, then I'd run back into the same problem with what I had before. I'd have people spending hours out there, trying to find it.
Yep.
So I kind of wanted to stay away from that. That's why we hadn't said how many is actually out there, blah, blah, blah. But
unless you have crazy people that have permission, which is K-Blast spent 4 to 5 hours in the device.
K-Blast? Man, my heart still bleeds for you, brother. I'm telling you, I wish I could help you out on that, but holy cow, he spent some time out there.
Yeah.
Him and his son, man, they were determined. I think he would have probably spent all night out there if he didn't have the next day already planned for something.
Yes.
I think he would have spent the whole night out there.
Incredible.
And he probably would have found it for sure.
But I'm so glad it worked out. I mean, it's the only one. It's got to be. Well, maybe not. It's the only one I think I've ever. Well, I know it's the only one I've ever heard of that we ordered a porta potty for the geocache.
Yeah.
I mean, and we had it, and we decorated the porta potty, which was funny, also. But you had a tent set up out front, which was really cool, and we had people working and
volunteers.
A lot of volunteers. Do you remember? Do you have any idea what the total of people that we got run through there that week was? Do you remember?
Man, I do not.
I don't know if Kim remembers or.
We did look at it and figured it out. I don't remember exactly where it was.
Yeah.
I'm thinking we had probably 331 favorites before Cache Fest, I believe.
Yeah.
So you can kind of get a ballpark idea from there about it. But back to having everybody going through there, the sign-up genius was perfect. And if it wasn't for that, I mean, it would have been chaos in there because
it would have been chaos.
The timing, people, and this and that, it would have. The sign-up genius was a good idea.
Yeah, it worked out great, which was nice. You had some swag that you could sell folks and stuff. That was kind of fun, just to kind of, And
then we had all the extra caches that I had, set out in the yard where people could do, and that
was
in between time or waiting for somebody or on the way out, whichever. So it was fun.
Sure.
And those were all like good caches too. Like they were all very like just that grouping of caches would be enough to drive out there for. Without the device, right? There was some. It wasn't just like you had a couple of pill bottles thrown around. It was serious gadget caches around. Everybody was walking around doing them. That was a lot of fun.
It was cool. It was good times. Some people. I recall one geocacher went out in the pond barefoot. They're just like, let's go for it. Threw the shoes off and took off out in the pond.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
So starting to get toward the end tonight, we've I think we've done a good job of not spilling beans, so that's good.
It's
you cut me off one time, which is good. So.
I got my hand right on the button, Gary, just in case. Just in case.
That's right.
What was that, Jesse?
I said, we know you're going to spill beans, so I think our timing was perfect on that one. So.
Yeah, so at least I got that out, even though nobody probably heard it. I think I got cut off.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I mean, it's hard to talk about a cache without talking about a cache, right?
It is.
I mean, but you don't want to spoil anything on this one. And the general idea is out there.
It's not great.
Extremely unique experience. It's worth taking a trip to go do, without a doubt.
Oh, it is. It's well worth it. I mean, it's so unique. And so my question is we're starting to get to the end tonight, which is the future. So do you have are you ever going to flip it and call it 3.0, or are you planning on scrapping and redoing, or what are your thoughts about the future of Infernal Device?
It's going to be what it is right now.
Okay.
I mean, I may change some more stuff here and there, but
okay.
It'll probably just stay the way it is.
Okay, very cool.
I've got some other ideas to do something different, in there, but keep the same layout and things like that, but change some stuff up. But
sure. Mm-hmm. This is a pretty good question David asked, which is, what is the average time to complete this? So if he's coming down and visiting, what would you recommend to people who have never been through it yet?
I would probably say, if you don't want any hints or help, probably an hour to maybe an hour and a half, something like that. Depending on your skills.
With trackables,
depends on your skills and who's with you at the time, and how many eyes you got on it, and how many people will actually focus on what you're supposed to. And because there's a lot of stuff in there that takes your focus off of where it needs to be. So it really, I mean, I'd say hour and a half.
Yeah. Do you, you still have the same sort of process that you want people, if somebody wants to come do the cache, you kind of want them to send a note and let you know they're going to be there?
Yeah, for sure. Just give me a heads up and say, hey, we're coming in this weekend. We'd like to be there at 4:00 on Saturday or whatever. And, I'll respond right back to you and say, hey, that's cool. Perfect. And just go from there.
Yeah. Read the whole page. I think, something that Jesse and I have learned over the years is you need to read the whole description. No, you do. You read the whole description, but it does help, I think, for folks to and it's how far from like the airport do you think you are approximately?
So from the airport, driving time, you're 30 minutes.
Okay. And basically, OKC Airport is just south of downtown.
Yep, southwest of downtown, and we're east of Oklahoma City. So
so you're just east. So
if you're in the city, if you're downtown Oklahoma City area, it takes you about 20 minutes to get here. But it's highway. There's highway straight from the airport, I-240, or you can take I-40 out of the city. It's easy to get to.
Yeah, you can park right next to it, and again, give Brent a heads up that you're coming, just so he kind of knows. But
it's not an appointment. It's not making an appointment. It's just saying, hey, look, we're going to be there such and such time. It's a courtesy thing to say, hey, we're coming.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah. All right, we'll kind of go around the room. We'll give some final thoughts, and then Brent will kind of let you go last. And since I'm in the middle of talking, so I'll let you two guys go next. But it is incredible. It's the greatest geocache I've ever done, hands down. There's no question about it. There's a question for Owen.
Yeah, I'll jump in with that question because it leads into my comments. But it says, do you know any other geocachers developing another one? So kind of that, I'll leave you with that question too. But I think it's one of those really unique things. Like if you're going kind of the way I cache a lot of times, I'll find a location, a destination, and then build a trip around it. This is one of those like Gilby or some big power trail that you're going to do or whatever. It's a unique experience, and then you build your trip around it. And I think this is one that's definitely worthy of it. I mean, obviously, if you're in the area, you'd be dumb to not go get it. But if you're traveling there, it's worth building your trip around and then finding what you want around this, because it's enough of a unique experience that there's no way you're not going to talk about this one. This will be one of those stories you tell people when you talk about geocaches, right? Like we all have our stories, whether it's kayaking or hiking somewhere or, something crazy like that, or someplace you went to, or just a really awesome cache. And this kind of falls into that category. It's extremely unique. Maybe there are other ones. I've never heard of them, and I've never heard anybody that's heard of them. So, but I don't know if there's anybody else developing anything like this that we know of. If they are, please let us know because we'd love to highlight it on the show. And go do it because I want to go do it if there's something else like this. Like if I was back in town, when I'm back in town there, I'll go through it again. And I'll try to take anybody with me because it'll be fun, right? That's one of those things that I don't know how to tell you if you haven't been to it how unique it is. It's such a unique experience, and I can't imagine. Like I hate maintaining my caches, and that's why most of mine are virtual now. But the amount of time it takes, and like even a regular cache, it's like an ammo can. If somebody puts it on their property and it's even halfway decent, it automatically gets a favorite point for me because like you've committed to geocaching. If you're putting something on your own property, yours is not just an ammo can sitting in your yard. It's something obviously totally unique and different. So the amount of time that you're contributing to the game, that's amazing. I just think it's amazing, and I'm a little too selfish for it. So I'm glad there's other people out there like you that are doing it because I'm too selfish for that. So
hey, real quick, there is something. Yeah. We went to that is it Necropolis?
Necropolis, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of similar, right? Would you say?
It's a lot of it's outdoor. The experience of the outdoor to get to it is pretty wild.
I know it has a lot of favorite points.
Yeah, it's got the quarter smash, which sort of is a nice. You don't see quarter smash machines very often, so
it's pretty awesome.
That is unique, but I mean, no, it's not. I don't think I would even describe that. It's really cool. It's a great cache.
Kind of a different category.
It's a whole other category. Yeah, it's not. Yeah. It's not. It's worth doing, but it's apples and oranges really. But my other thing, real quick, before John goes, is that there's not a lot because you've done it hundreds of times, but I don't think people realize there is a sort of a reset. Do you ever just sort of pop in there and make sure everything's reset the way it's supposed to be? Sort of like resetting an escape room.
Oh yeah, for sure. I go in there all the time. Yeah,
and make sure everything's back where it's supposed to be. Okay.
Yeah, usually after everybody leaves, I'll go in and check it out, make sure that everything's reset perfect and something's not undone here or there, and I'd sweep out all the spider webs and stuff like that. So
don't do that. Leave the spider webs. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so I guess people don't. That's not really a spoiler, but yeah, there's we tried to reset it as best we could, just to kind of help you out. So if you do it, of course, that's probably bad because we might reset it improperly, but you always check it.
No big deal. Yeah, we'll get it set back.
So, John, what was your experience, and did you end up getting the pizza that K-Blast left you?
Oh man, yeah. So many things. I got to build upon a few things Jesse said first. Is this is a destination geocache. This is one of those caches you want to go to, and you want to bring some friends because experiencing it with a group is awesome. Is such a great experience. So, really build that in. And I think on this one, like many people have said on this one, give yourself time. This one is not a race to get through. On this, where, Brent was saying, like some people went through it in less than an hour. K-Blast came back and actually did, more time in there trying to find all those trackables. This is an awesome experience to get through. And like what I was saying earlier, it's kind of like a horror movie film set, and kudos to Brent because as Brent was saying everything on this and saying he found all these pieces, he put everything together in this very masterful excellent way where it all goes together to create this cumulative experience for you you're probably never going to experience again in any geocache you'll ever do. So I just have to say I am blown away by all the detail put into this, all the quality. And again, find some buddies, go out there and do it. Give yourself some time to go in and soak it in. Cause like Gary said, after you get through this, you're kind of blown away. You're like, wow, I've never ever done a cache like that in my life. And I may not ever do one like that ever again. And I can see myself actually And I will admit this, and I saw a few comments in the chat room, people like, I want to go back to this cache, you know? And it's like, you know, that's cool because, I mean, there's many caches, and don't get me wrong, it's good to go back to with a friend. But, I mean, to experience something like this again, because, I mean, the first time we were going through it, I'll be honest, right? It gave me the heebie-jeebies. It really did on that. And I know Jesse and I, a few points during it, were like, hey, do you want to do that thing? And then I'll do that thing next time. And it's like, yeah, okay. Let's trade off on these creepy things on this one. But you know, that kind of experience, I will never, ever forget. You know what I mean? And you know, coming back to the pizza from K-Blast, big shout out to you for doing that with the pizza. That was a great way to personalize that cache. That was a great way for me thinking, like, okay, if I'm going out, I guess I'm going out eating a pizza. And the most like, scary geocache I've ever done in my life.
Yes, you can't get to it for a while there. So anyway, Brent, what are some of your final thoughts tonight?
I appreciate everybody coming and all the I don't know, the favorite points. You know, that keeps me going. I just appreciate all the awesome logs everybody's done. I mean, there's some really awesome logs in there. We read every one of them. We appreciate it. We'd like to see everybody have a good time. And for anybody that wants to come out, like they said, take your time, see everything. This is a hands-on cache. Go in there. Don't be afraid to break anything. Just, you know, enjoy your time in there and just get to see it all and have a good time.
It's awesome. Yeah, one thing we didn't really get to talk about, but I want to bring it up because you sent it to me. But this is interesting, and I gotta get Jesse's comment on this. But we had Brent sent me this. It's I'll read it. It's from our cacher John 52. He has 17,688 finds. He says, until now, I have never given a favorite point to any cache ever.
Wow.
But but this one deserves it. I can't imagine at the time and effort that went into this cache. I'll probably come back and bring the grandkids to see this one. Oh, poor grandkids. Thanks for all your hard work on this cache. Now this was, granted, he did find it in 2017, so he's found caches since then, but he had not given. How many do you think he had found? What was the rough? He was in the 10,000s, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was well over that.
And never given.
I don't know for sure. I didn't see back then, you know, because we were still new and didn't really pay attention to all that. But yeah, it was. He did come back and bring the grandkids. Like maybe 2 or 3 days later, he did bring them back. They enjoyed it.
That's a pretty high bar to set. If that's the only cache you ever like, all right, that's your level. Infernal Device is your level of what your favorite points at. He's gonna keep a lot of them. He has a lot of favorite points. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I'd like to see how many he had.
Yeah, I can tell you right now, he didn't give many after that because that is a high bar.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Well, Brent, thank you, my friend. That was fun to relive and just think about all of the experiences. I was fortunate enough to do it twice, and I would do it again in a heartbeat, like Jesse said. So, again, thank you, my friend. That was great. And,
you bet. Appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely, good times. So, hopefully, people watched and they're going to go find it. If you do go, you know, if you do survive Infernal Device, you know, definitely send us a note that you heard about it from the show here. You can always email us geocachetalk@gmail.com. Tell us your experience and you know, let us know that you got to hear from Brent. You can get no spoilers, but at least you heard it's pretty awesome. So yes, there you go. All right. Well, again, thank you. And John, we got something coming up or?
Yeah. So Gary, thank you for doing that. So this Tuesday, there is no show. this Tuesday,
That's
right?
No show.
But
Made a
on the
move on.
Tuesday after that
Yeah.
one,
Yes.
there's going to be a very special show, and some hints. Folks have been asking about this show for a long time.
Oh,
Tuesday after next? What's the?
Yeah,
I don't know.
so a week from this coming Tuesday.
Adventure Lab
yeah.
talk. It's got to be right. Yeah.
I'm not confirming or denying, Jesse, nor am I giving any spoilers since we did not do spoilers tonight. But
Are we finally getting a Where I Go talk? Is that what's going to happen?
Man, you guys are making this tough on me. I really can't spill any beans.
You can't.
It's
you
way
gotta
marking.
confirm
Then.
the
I know it
beans.
is. It's way marking.
But people
got
have
it.
been
I figured
talking
it out. It's
about
way
this for a
marking.
long time.
Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and tell everybody exactly what it is. So let me do that.
May your finds be many, and your DNFs be few. May the terrain and difficulty both be less than 2. And whatever it is you're looking for, may it find its way to you. And may we all meet again.
Folks, we hope you've enjoyed the show tonight. Please email us your comment at geocachetalk@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. The show can be found on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Radio Public, or Spotify, as well as at the Geocache Talk website. Don't forget to click that subscribe button below and ring that bell notification so that you can see and hear the show on a weekly basis. And tell your friends about the show. Get them involved with us in the chat room. And until next week, don't just talk about geocaching, go geocaching.